Hi, my name is Juliana Fenek and I'm the founder of Lignant Stories, a storytelling agency that was set up to support parents of 5 to 10-year-old children in using storytelling in their everyday life with the little ones. Why? Because storytelling is a powerful way of communicating important messages and important values to our children. And even if the message or the value seems to be complicated, through stories we are sharing it in a language that children instinctively understand. And today I want to talk a little bit about the use of shame versus guilt in the way that we correct our children. You see, when we correct our children, and as parents we feel an obligation to correct our children because we want them to grow up into successful and respectful adults, we sometimes fall into the pattern of shaming them. We need to be very careful of the words that we use when we are correcting children, and also to make sure that we are offering them the solution to the problem that has been created or that they have created for themselves. Because you see, when we shame our children into behaving differently, the only thing that we are really achieving is making them feel very, very small. And when we make our children feel small, they start to lose confidence in themselves. And as parents, that's the last thing we want. We do so much to make sure that our children grow into being successful, outspoken, happy adults. And this depends very much on how good they feel upon themselves, how good they feel of themselves. So, what is the solution? We want to point out to our children that a certain action has natural consequences, that all of our choices have natural consequences, but that they are choices. So, if a child is exhibiting behavior that we don't really like, let's comment on the behavior rather than the child himself or herself. So if a child is rude and answers back, let's change our wording from saying that was a very rude way of answering from you are a very rude child. If we label our children and we repeatedly use the same labels, they begin to identify with those words that we are using. So that even if they are not rude, they will become rude. We are shaming them into feeling so small about themselves that they feel they have no other option. And as we send our children out into the world, we want them to know that they have options. The aim here is to raise them with such a strong moral compass that they will do the right thing even when we are not looking, even when nobody is looking. And so when we choose good stories with solid values for our children, we are giving them an example, many examples of positive behavior. And then we can reinforce the positive behavior that we find in these stories with conversations about them. Now, as a parent, you might be thinking, this is great, but where do I find these stories with these solid values? And how do I know what conversations to stimulate around them? That's where we come in. It's precisely why I decided to use my 20 years of research into children's storytelling and the culture of childhood to bring to you a whole series of programs at Lignant Stories which save you time. I know what it's like to be a busy parent. I know what it's like to have all these intentions, all these dreams, all these desires, and yet to have no time or energy to see them through. And so I encourage you to connect with us and to find out more about our services. And you can do that by subscribing to our newsletter at www.lignantstories.com/contact. And I will be in touch with various tips, not only about the difference between shame and guilt and how to instill confidence in your children, but also with plenty of story resources that will help you to work through the most challenging parts of parenting. So sign up today, and I can't wait to be in touch very soon. Take good care. Bye for now.